We are the Matriarchs of Fandom. Today is July 25th, 2024. I'm here with Miss Liz, Catalia, and Lady Gray. How's everyone doing tonight? Awesome, awesome. Today's show is going to be on long movies. Just movies that are at least 2.5, 3 hours plus long. I have a couple of questions that's going to go along with some of the movies that I've mentioned, that I'm going to mention. Let's see. First thing that I do want to mention is some movies. Hi, Taki Cat. How you doing tonight? Had intermission, which a intermission is a pause or break between acts of a play or parts of a public appearance performance. Um, should they bring intermissions back? Do you think these long movies should have intermissions? If the movies were shorter, would it change the quality and the of the movie? Another thing I would like to mention while we're going through is the overture. Now, overture is a piece of music or orchestra to play at the beginning of a movie, orchestra or ballet. The word comes from the French word meaning opening because it opens the show. Overtures usually have been heard music that's heard throughout the movie or the show or the play, and it prepares the audience of what is going to happen. You know, sometimes the overtures you're here at the beginning and then throughout the show, the movie, or the play. Now, I do want to make a really quick note that the last overture was Gandhi in the theaters, which was in 1982. Overtures kind of stopped because it started slowing down inside the theaters. It also added more time to the movie where theaters wanted to show more movies. And if you have the overture or even intermissions in the movies, of course, one movie can go longer and they wouldn't be able to put more movies doing that stage, that time frame for that theater. The first movie that I would like to mention is Zack Snyder's Justice League. That movie came out in 2021. It is 4 hours and 2 minutes long. Now, the original one that came out in 2017 was just 2 hours. So I would like to go to Miss Gray first. Do you think Zack Snyder's Justice League, was it worth the 4 hours, or do you prefer the original one, the 2 hour version, better?
So I'm going to admit I have not actually seen it because I don't like long movies. I just, if I find out it's going to be over about 2.5 hours, I got to really want to watch it. Definitely not watching it at the movie theater because they did, like you said, they did away with intermissions, and I've just reached the age where 3 hours I got to have a potty break in the middle, or else I'm not going to make it. So, um, yeah, sorry, I haven't seen that one.
Well, Miss Gray, I have to say you are missing out.
If it's, I mean, I would probably watch it. I just haven't. I don't know why I haven't.
Okay, well, one rainy day, which we're getting a lot of it right now,
Yeah.
put it on. I mean, for me, it's a definitely must see. I actually like that version better than the original
I
version because
probably would like it better just because you got more information, and
definitely.
it frustrates me when there are plot holes and I realize that they're probably weren't there until they got to editing it and the answer to the plot hole was on the cutting room floor.
Yes, yes,
So,
definitely. From all the movies, I'd say give it a go. This is one. This is a must see.
okay.
All right, Catalia, Justice League.
I probably saw the first one. I have not seen the 4 hour one.
Oh, you are another one. Y'all have to. It's It would just open up your minds seeing it, and looks like it's on Max.
I don't have that one.
Oh, okay. Well, I would think by now you should be able to go to other platforms and see it since it's been out for about 3 years. But definitely do it. It's long, but it's definitely worth it. Miss Liz, Justice League. I know you have seen this.
I saw the first one. I have not seen the 4-hour version one. I didn't even know the 4-hour version one was out.
Y'all killing me. Y'all are killing me. I can't go more and more by saying it's of all probably the 4-hour movies that I've seen. You got to watch this one. It's great. And it's on DVD. Of course, we have both versions, and I don't even put the original version up. So even though it's long, definitely give it a try and definitely watch it. You're going to just give me a call and said, Vonda, you're right. And I'm going to say, yes, I was. All right. So the next set of movies I'm going to talk about is Lord of the Rings. Now, there's a lot of movies, and I actually did the time frame for each one. Now, the original Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, the extended version is 3 hours, 28 minutes. The original was 2:58. The Two Towers is 3 hours and 55 minutes. The original 2:59. Return of the King is another 4-hour movie with 4 hours and 13 minutes. The original 3:20. The Hobbit, the first one, Unexpected Journey, 3 hours and 2 minutes compared to 2 hours and 49 minutes. The second Hobbit movie, 3 hours and 6 compared to 2:41. And the very last one, The Battle of the Five Armies, was 2:44. And according to my notes, there was no big difference between that. Now, with the extended version, when you add all the movies together, it is 11 hours and 22 minutes of hobbits and, battles, which is great. The original one was 8 hours and 52 minutes. So you're talking about a 3-hour plus difference. Now I'm going to go back to Miss Gray with the two versions. Have you seen both versions? And if you did, oh my God. Oh, and if you did, which one you like better?
Sorry. So when the first one came out, I was in school and I tried to watch it and I fell asleep. So I just never watched one after that. I probably will, especially this weekend. I have a lot of TV time to myself this weekend. So I'm probably going to watch either that or Justice League, but definitely I'm watching. Okay, there's another one you'll probably talk about later, so I won't say that. But no, I actually haven't watched Lord of the Rings. I read the books when I was in high school, but it's been forever ago, so I don't remember them.
Okay. I'm surprised, Miss Gray. That's all I'm going to say. You're breaking my heart.
I know. I'm sorry.
But I've never read the books. Now, even though this show is on long movies, when you do watch the movies, I want you to let me know what the difference between the two, because I've actually thought about reading the books. I personally thought it might have been hard to read, so I never actually picked it up, but I would like to.
I don't recall it being that hard to read. Like I said, I was like in junior high, so I don't even know that I actually remember them at this point. But I remember them being a good adventure.
Okay. Now, Richard Ashley, which I totally forgot, said the original Hobbit movie was animated. I didn't like that one. I'm sorry. I don't think I like the graphics of the original one, even though it's similar to like The Last Unicorn, which I really liked. But that animated version, I do need to give it a ring. Catalia, Lord of the Rings, the extended version or the regular version. Have you seen it? And which version do you like best if you did?
I saw them in the movies, and I think I've got them on DVD. Not the extended version, but I've read the book too. And I've
Okay.
got it on CD.
Okay. 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 Yeah, definitely give it a try. For me, it doesn't really matter which version, even though there's more information with the extended version. I actually like both versions, so I don't have a problem watching either one. But of course, with an extra hours of information, you get more. Miss Liz.
Yes, I saw them in the movie theaters, and I've seen I have both. I have the regular version, collector's edition, and then I have the collector's edition of the extended ones with the
Mhm.
director's cut and the whole bit. I have that one too. So I
Okay.
have them both.
Okay. You saved the day, Miss Liz. Now, which
Well,
version?
yeah. My husband. That was one of the few movies my husband actually liked seeing.
Okay.
So, and so we went to see it. I saw it at the movies. I think I saw one or two with him, but most of the other ones we basically either rented it or eventually when it came out on DVD and added it to he said we had to have it, so we have it. And I've also lent it out to friends who wanted, that didn't get to, actually get to see it. So it has made the rounds to a couple of my neighbors and whatnot who didn't get to see it the first time around.
Okay.
So and yes, I like hobbits. Yes.
Okay.
I'm a big Bilbo Baggins fan.
Yes. 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 Love the Hobbits. Love the Hobbits. Okay. Let's see. Next movie. Now, I have to admit, I've only watched part one once, part two once, and I never watched part three, but it is The Godfather. Now, part one came out in 72. Part two came out in 74. Part three came out in 90. Each movie is about 2 hours and 55 minutes, where being part two being 3 hours and 22 minutes. Now, this movie was going to have an intermission when it came to theaters, but at the last minute, the producers thought that, I guess, it was getting to the point of why, since part two came out in 74. Miss Gray, The Godfather.
You're going to
Yes.
take me off the show. I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
A lot of these movies, when they came out, I was in school. So getting more than 2 hours time in my schedule to watch anything was hard. So I'm going back now and watching stuff that I missed back in the day. But no, I haven't actually seen those. Sorry.
Okay. Like I said,
Podcast.
well, like I said, I've only seen, the first and second once. So I don't remember the whole plot to this. But when everybody talks about it, everybody mentions Godfather Part 2 is the best of all three movies. So I can't say anything about you with this one because I have to go back and watch it again. But from what I understand, it's been pretty cool. Natalia, Godfather?
I watched it if I remember that there was a scene where they had a cut off horse's head in somebody's bed, so that's about all I remember of it.
Okay. All right. And Miss Liz, Godfather, long movie. Was it worth it?
No. I never made it through Godfather 1. I've tried several times to watch that movie, and I never get very far before I get so thoroughly bored and trying to figure out what in the hell's going on. It's just, I'm sorry, it didn't hold any interest for me. So I never got through Godfather 1, so I never bothered to try to go through any of the other ones.
Okay. So I kind of feel like we're all kind of on the same page with this one. But, like I said, everybody.
She's froze.
There we go. We're back. Hi. Okay, so 1997, Titanic.
I know I have seen that one.
It was 3 hours and 15 minutes. Now, there's been quite a few versions of this movie. There was a TV miniseries that came out in 1996 and ran for 2 nights. So it was a total of about 3 hours. And then there was 1979 version called SOS Titanic, which has been about 3 hours and 14 minutes. There's been over 20 movies of the Titanic, and most of them has been pretty long. Now, I personally thought this was a really good movie. I've watched it recently, probably the last couple of weeks. It didn't matter that it was 3 hours and 15 minutes for me. I think there was a story with different characters that we kind of needed to be developed. I'm still mad that she threw that, that jewel down, down the water. But overall, I did not have a problem being that long. Look like Richard saying movie theaters had a problem with movies over 2 hours. Yes, because they would sell more concession stands, but it would sell less tickets. And I have to admit, every time I go to the movies, I always get popcorn and a soda. So they're actually making money off of me, no matter how long the movie is. Lady Gray, Titanic, 3 hours and 15 minutes. And do you think it was worth it?
I do. I think they paced it in such a way that it didn't feel like three plus hours. No, it was one of my daughter's favorites back in the day, and we had it on VHS. So telling my age there. And we watched it over and over and over again. So I did kind of get tired of it after probably the 50th time of watching it and hearing Her Heart Will Go On. But I thought it was paced well, so it didn't feel like it was overly long. No, I liked it.
Okay. Looks like we have a few men that's joining us, and they kind of said Titanic was a little, sleepy, or they thought it was boring, and it's a chick flick. I'll admit it. I don't do a lot of chick flicks, and it was probably just a little bit of a verge of being one. But
it had enough action. It didn't feel like a chick flick, because I don't do chick flicks either.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Natalia, Titanic?
I saw it. It's okay. I think I prefer more of an action type movie like Hobbits or Dune or something like that. So I've seen it a couple of times, and that's about it.
Okay. Not a problem. And Miss Liz?
Well, I am a Titanic buff. So I have seen anything and everything when it comes to Titanic. And I've probably seen most of the movies and the programs and the specials and anything else that has to do with Titanic. I've even been up to Halifax and been to the cemetery. So,
Okay.
I, big Titanic person. And like you said, I really hated it when she threw that diamond in the water. Oh my God, that pissed me off. I mean, really, what a waste.
Yes, ma'am.
And they already proved that, yeah, he could have gotten up on that. It saved his life.
True that.
He would have made it. But as James Cameron said on Mythbusters, it was not in the script. He was supposed to die.
True. So, I will agree to that. That love
but
story.
I always thought they should have saved him.
I agree.
I know he wouldn't have fit in her society, but I still think they should have saved him.
I agree.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm a big Titanic buff, and I've watched everything and anything that has anything to do with Titanic. And that means in the real life and whatnot.
Okay. I agree. I agree. I do the same thing. I do the same
And I
thing.
also pause every year at that time and date to remember all the ones who didn't, you know,
Survive,
all
which was
those
a
poor
lot of.
people that didn't make it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That cemetery was very fascinating, by the way.
I bet. I bet. I bet. All right. So next movie is a classic. I've tried watching this movie a few times and has yet to see the whole thing. It is 3 hours and 58 minutes. It came out in 1939, and I am talking about Gone with the Wind. I tried, I tried, I tried, and I have not succeeded. So, Lady Gray, you've seen this. Do
I
you
have seen
right
Gone with the
over
Wind.
me?
I have seen Gone with the Wind. I remember getting to the end and being mad because I was just kind of like, "That's it," because I rented the VHS tapes and watched it, and I got to the and it was on two tapes, and I got to the end of the second one, and I'm like, "Was there supposed to be a part three?" Because it left you hanging. Was this crap? Tomorrow's another day. I want to know what happens.
Yeah.
um, I mean, I watched it the once. I don't know that I've watched it again. It was just kind of one of those, yeah, okay, I checked the box. I watched it. It was a good movie. I'm good now. I don't need to watch it again.
Okay, okay. Now, from what I understand, this movie had an overture and an intermission when it first came out, being the 3 hours and 58 minutes. I tried it when it was on TV. It had commercials, so maybe I just got bored. But no, no, sadly, or I should say, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. I just never seen it. All right, Catalia, Gone with the Wind. 3 hours and 58 minutes.
I've seen it. It's long. It's interesting. Don't know how the heck they got away with all those hoops with the weather like it is over here. So, and the corsets.
True, true.
So,
Do you
but
think it was worth it being that long of a movie? I mean, since you've seen it, you also, Miss Gray, look like Miss Liz is answering. Do you think it was worthwhile? Should I give this almost 4 hour movie a chance?
I mean, if you could rent it to where, rent it so you can pause it when you need it, or maybe even watch it in like 2 or 3 sittings, watch like an hour and then the next night watch another hour. So it's almost like a mini series instead of
yeah,
a 3 hour movie, maybe.
Okay, okay.
Um,
and you can say you don't know nothing about Birth of No Babies.
All right. I don't know what that means, but okay.
it's in the movie.
It's in the movie.
The one line I knew I said already. That's it.
I don't know nothing about Birth of No Babies, Miss Scarlett.
There's that one. There's Frankly, My Dear, Don't Give a Damn. And then Tomorrow is Another Day.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So on and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Miss Liz, you've seen it, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. It was my mother's all-time favorite movie. I have it on DVD. I actually have not watched it since my mother died. So it's been a while. My mother took me to the movie theaters to see this movie when I was young, probably young teenager. I don't remember how old I was, but I was old enough to,
Okay.
to appreciate it. Let's put it that way. We had to get all dressed up to go see this movie. It was one of those theaters. They had proper intermission where they served, drinks. The kids got ginger ale and and I don't know what the adults did, and yes, they have it over. They had the overture and they had the movie, and then they have a 30-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute intermission. Then you get to watch the rest of it, and my mother was obsessed with.
Ms. Liz, you was there all day then.
oh my God. My mother did it. I've got some of it because I inherited some of it. But I made my mother a very happy woman one
Oh,
Christmas. I
okay.
actually got an autograph from one of the ladies who was in Gone with the Wind.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it was I think she was one of Ashley, the redheaded guy, Ashley's sister or something or other. I got her autograph once. And that's pretty much it. I've never been a Clark Gable fan, and I think I kind of lost my interest in him when I had went and saw the movie, and I actually came out of that theater as thinking him as the bad guy, not her,
Okay.
because
Okay.
he went off and left her. I
So,
understand now that I'm an adult and understand it why he did it. So I have no ill will against him now. But when I was a teenager and he went off and broke her heart and left her and everything, man, was I mad about that.
okay. Okay. So I'll think about it. I guess, I'll think about it. Next movie on the list is Avatar. Now, the 2009
I love Avatar.
one was 2 hours and 42 minutes. The Way of Water that came out in 2022 was 3 hours and 12 minutes. Now, it made a lot of money. Over $2.923 billion. Now, I thought the first one was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I thought that second one, being 3 hours and 12 minutes, was waste of my time. I think there was parts of it that they could have cut. They didn't need it. And I remember going to the movies and seeing it, and I was bored. So I'm going to go to Miss Linskin. I'm going to start with you this time. Avatar, part 1, part 2.
I love Avatar. I'll sit down and watch that anytime. And yes, I like the first one better than I like the second one. So I have seen the first one several times, and I think I've seen the second one like 3 times. But yeah, I like Avatar a lot, and we could learn a lot of good lessons from that movie.
True. Now, I know I said that I thought the second one was long. Do you agree with me, or do you think it had a really good flow?
I think the second one was a little long, but then I'm still mad that they let that guy live, though, because he's going to come back and get him again.
Yeah,
I mean, they shouldn't have. I still haven't figured out why they let the villain.
True. Movie magic. Katalia, the Avatar, first or second one, being almost 3 hours the first one and over 3 hours the second one?
I've not seen the second one. I've seen the first one a couple of times in the theaters. It was enjoyable. It didn't feel like 3 hours. So it was good.
Okay. And Lady Gray?
I actually haven't seen it. Either of them, I know. I think because it blew up so much, it was just kind of I kind of almost took an well, it must be cheesy if this many people like it kind of approach to it. So I never watched it. I like the other Avatar, The Last Airbender. So I was like, I don't need the blue people. I like the other one better. So
Of course. I mean, I'll say give it a try. It made a lot of money. Like I said, over $2 billion, almost 3. So, I'll say watch it at least once. And I do believe they're doing 2 more of these movies. So I guess we'll actually see how their journey ends. All right, next movie I got is 2019, The Avengers Endgame. That was 3 hours and 1 minute. And it was actually the second most successful movie of all time when it comes to money making, where I did mention the first Avatar was 1, the Avengers was 2, and the second Avatar was number 3 as making the most money. Now, I enjoyed Endgame. It was nice to see how at least some of our fighters, our Avengers ended. I didn't have a problem being over 3 hours long. I thought it was good from start to finish. Katalia, have you seen Endgame? And do you feel like it was a long movie or was it enough for you?
I haven't seen it.
Okay. Okay. You got to watch the ending of the Avenger. See.
Uh-oh, I think she's locked up.
Hello? There you go.
There we go. Is she locked up again?
Oh, Miss. Hey, Miss Liz. Miss Liz. Hi. We can't hear you, honey. There you go, Miss
But you all froze up.
We all froze up. It's clogs. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Miss
I
Liz.
have seen all the Avenger movies. I love all the Avenger movies. And Endgames was actually the last physical movie I went to see with my husband before I lost him.
Oh, okay.
So that is actually the last movie Jerry and I went to see because he liked all the Avengers movies. The first one's my favorite. It'll always be my favorite. But yes, it doesn't seem like you're watching it for 3 hours when you know. And it's always sad when you see Stark die, but you know why he did.
Yeah.
You understand it. You accept it, just like we had to accept Dumbledore dying. We had to accept that.
Yes, ma'am.
And I like all the Avengers movies.
Okay.
I've always been an Avengers fan, even if some people aren't.
Okay. I gotcha. Lady Gray.
I have seen it. I yeah, I know. I like Marvel because it's got a good level. Use most of their stuff has a good balance between action and story. So I tend to like Marvel movies. Um, Endgame, I really liked it. Now I've seen the last 20 minutes. I couldn't tell you how many times. Before that, I all the sadness at the beginning. I don't watch that as much, but the end. Usually it picks up there where Captain America's tightening his shield, and you start to see over his corner. You see the gold circle coming, and then you have the silhouette of the Black Panther, and it just to this day gives me goosebumps when I watch that clip. It's just I don't know. It was everybody in the theater was out of their chair at that point screaming. So
Yeah, I liked it when all the girls showed up to help them, and Black
Yeah.
Panther and his group showed. That's one of the best parts of the whole movie is when all the cavalry basically showed up and helped them beat you know who.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay. Next movie. I got a few more. This came out last year. It made a lot of money too. It was 3 hours, and it is about a nuclear weapon in World War II. I am talking about Oppenheimer. Now, I did not go to the movies to see Oppenheimer. I've only saw it once, and I still really don't know what was going on. I know the history behind it. I actually looked it up before I went to the movies, but for me, it was an incredible long 3 hours. Would I watch it again? No, no. Maybe it was just because I felt like it was too much dialogue. I don't know, which you kind of needed in a movie like that, but I was bored out of my mind. Miss Liz, have you? Oh, she's not there. Katalia, have you seen Oppenheimer?
I haven't seen it.
Okay, that's good. Lady Gray.
I have. Actually went to see Oppenheimer in the movie theater. My husband was a nuke when he was in the Navy many years ago, so that's something that's kind of near and dear to his heart. The whole nuclear program and the beginnings of it. Um, so there was no way we were not going to go see it. It was long. It was good. Not something I ever have any desire to watch again. Um, but it was good. But yeah, I don't know. It felt like 3 hours. That's for sure. It did feel long.
Yes,
So.
it did. It did. And Miss Liz, Oppenheimer, did you see it? Do you think it was a long?
I did not see it.
Oh,
I made sure I deliberately did not see it because I had seen all the historical stuff on it over the years. You know, so I had the all the education from the history lessons and all that from you know studying World War II and all that kind of stuff. So I really didn't see any necessary to rehash the so basically no, I did not see it at all for obvious reasons.
okay. Good.
I heard it was supposed to be really good though.
I heard that too. All righty. 1963 Cleopatra. Elizabeth Taylor was in this. It was the most expensive movie being filmed at that time. It actually bankrupt 20th Century Fox because it lost $38.4 million. Cleopatra is 3 hours and 53 minutes. Now, I've recently recorded it so I can rewatch it again because I haven't seen it in a while. I can't wait till I have the time to do it. I just remember when I watched it before, I thought it was a good movie. And even though it was almost 4 hours, I think I can probably do this movie in one sitting. You know, the stage, the outfits, Elizabeth Taylor, I just amazed. So from what I remember, I don't feel like it was a long movie, even though it was, but I can't wait to rewatch it. Katalia, 3 hours and 53 minutes, the romantic war of Cleopatra.
It's worth seeing. I've seen it a couple of times, and the costuming is gorgeous. They did a great job, and it's good. I liked it.
Do you feel like it was 4 hours of goodness, or do you feel like there was parts of it where you kind of doze off, or would you watch it considering I'm about to rewatch it? Should I watch it in one time or give it, an hour, like Miss Gray was saying earlier about a movie?
I'd watch it all in one sitting, get a couple of friends and sit down and watch it and enjoy.
Okay.
Have a girls' night.
All righty. Miss Gray?
I haven't seen it. It's not that I wouldn't watch it. I probably actually would like it. I just never had the opportunity to see it, and so short of renting it, like I did with Gone with the Wind, I haven't ever had the opportunity to see it. I don't know if it's even streaming anywhere at this point. But yeah. I mean, the costuming is always what I have seen of it. Looks beautiful, and I think I would like it.
Okay. When this movie came out, it did have an intermission too. So, being almost 4 hours long, I guess I can understand. Miss Liz.
This is one of my favorite movies. Yeah, like my mom was obsessed with Gone with the Wind, I was obsessed with Cleopatra. I have seen it many times. I have it on DVD. It's probably my favorite Liz Taylor movie of all time. Of everything she's ever done, this one's my favorite. And she's probably the reason I fell in love with the learning about anything and everything I could ever learn about the real Cleopatra.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's also one of the movies that I kind of fell in love with Richard Burton too. So,
Okay. I
but
got you.
yeah, I thought that movie was fabulous. It's got A-listing stars in it from the get-go. Even people that weren't famous then are famous later on. And yes, the costuming was fabulous. The cinematography was fabulous. The directing was I mean, the whole thing. It's worth every single minute of watching it. It's just incredible. I know they stray from the historical facts a lot, but other than that, it's pretty good.
Okay. All right. All right. And definitely can't wait to watch it when I have the time. All right. Next movie is one of my favorite movies. I actually do have this one on Blu-ray. It is 1956, The Ten Commandments. It
Yes.
is 3 hours and 40 minutes. If it was on TV right now, I would just go ahead and put it on. I've seen it many, many, many times. I don't even think that the family watches it with me anymore. I just, it's on TV. I don't care if it's on Cinemax, if I put the DVD on, if it's on TNT. I watch it every time that it comes on. Considering it's a long movie with being the 3 hours and 40 minutes, I don't notice it. I've always enjoyed stories that's made into movies from the Bible, and this is one of my favorite ones. Lady Gray, The Ten Commandments.
That's kind of like Cleopatra. It was before my time, so I never had the opportunity to see it. And probably if it came on, I'd watch it, but I've just never had the chance.
Next time it comes on, I'm going to give you a little message.
Okay, that works.
It's a really, really good movie. 1956, dated now, but it's definitely a movie I say watch. You'll enjoy
You
it.
can get it on DVD and watch it too.
Yeah,
Because I have it on DVD.
Yeah, I do too. One of my favorite movies.
I watch it every single time it comes on. I
Yes,
see it at
ma'am.
least once a year, maybe more. Yeah, because that's got to be my favorite Charlton Heston movie.
Yes.
My favorite Charlton Heston movie. Of all of his movies, that one's my favorite. Besides Ben-Hur.
Yeah, Ben-Hur. Do you feel like it was long, Miss Liz, being
I
that?
actually know because I really love that movie. So I'll just, the best part is when you're watching it at your house and not at the movie theater, you can get out, get a snack, go to the bathroom, and come back.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, if you're at the movie theater, it can get a little long because you have to get up and pee breaks, if you know what I mean. even at a young age. But between Ben-Hur and Ten Commandments was probably one of my two favorites. Period.
Yeah.
I'll watch them anytime.
I agree. And Richard mentioned that it comes on every Easter, and it actually does. It still comes on every Easter because that's definitely one of the days. And it gets
put on the television.
yeah. So it still does. Katalia?
I've seen it. I think I watched it with my mom and dad when they were alive. So it's good. It's a bit long. It can get a little bit dry, but it's a good movie.
Okay. All right. We got another 1965 movie. It is 2 hours and 52 minutes. It's the Trapp Family. It's a musical, and it's The Sound of Music. This is another one. I can sing probably every song from this movie. When it came on a couple of years on regular TV, the live version, I watched that. I love Julie Andrews. It's great. And being long, I will still watch it every time it comes on. I also own this also on Blu-ray. It's good. 2 hours and 52 minutes. I don't notice it at all. Me and my daughter would sit here and watch it, the puppets and Do Ray D. It's a really good movie. So, Miss Liz, I see you got your hand up. The Sound of Music, 1965, 2 hours and 52 minutes.
Another one of my all-time favorite movies. And yes, I saw it at the movie theater more than once. I also have it on DVD, just like you do. I will watch it anytime because it's an incredible movie. The music is fabulous. The story is really good, and it's based on it's semi based on real life. I know they probably tweaked it a little bit,
Oh,
but
definitely.
and then the fact that I actually got to meet a couple of the people that were actually in it uh, makes it even more wonderful to watch. And I love Julie Andrews. That's probably between that and Mary Poppins, those are probably the two favorites
Yes,
of her.
ma'am. Maureen. So, you know, I don't know. I don't see that. It was good, but it's kind of a love story. So, maybe they were just bored with that being. Lady Gray, Sound of Music.
This one I could watch over and over again. In fact, it was on a few weeks ago, I believe, and we put it on and sang along to all the music. As cheesy as that sounds,
Mm-hmm.
um, I it's one I loved to watch when I was a kid, so I know all the music. All the songs I can sing along, and it's just such a pretty. The scenery and the music and everything. It's just a beautiful movie. Um, and like Miss Liz said, it's a good story that's loosely based on a true story. So
Mm-hmm. True. True. Okay. Let's see. I think I got two more to go. This movie came out 2001, Pearl Harbor. It is a war romance, and of course, it talks about the attack of Pearl Harbor, which happened on December 7th, 1941. It was 3 hours and 4 minutes. I enjoy this movie. However, I do think there were times where I got a little bored, you know. Just because I like the story. I mean, I hate to say it, I like the story, but the story, really intrigued me, especially when it talks about the USS Arizona. And every time I think about, what happened to the men on that ship, I just feel something in my heart. Um, I felt like it was a 3 hour and 4 minute movie. I hate to say it, even though, it has some good historical facts with it. I don't have a problem seeing the beginning, and then I hate to say it, advance towards the end. I think that middle part, the love story with Ben Affleck, I got bored. Will I watch it again? Probably so, but I don't think it's something that I will watch regularly. Katalia, do you think this movie was worth being 3 hours and 4 minutes? Because it made a lot of money.
I haven't seen it, but I have seen Sound of Music, and I grew up around that area as a kid.
I'm
So
sorry, did I miss you for Sound of Music?
that's okay.
Yeah, Wanda. Okay, okay. Miss Liz, Sound of Pearl Harbor. That's what we're on.
I saw it once. My husband dragged me to the movie theater to see this movie. And yes, it was a very long movie. And it seemed like it took forever to get to the important parts. But I probably will never see it again. Uh, Simply the fact that because I know all the history behind it and whatnot, because when you got a father who's a father and a brother who were seriously into World War II stuff, you have a tendency to.
True, true.
Yes, I saw the movie. Yes, I went to the movie theater and saw it with Jerry. No, I probably will not watch it again.
Okay, okay. And Lady Gray.
Um, it was good, but like you guys said, I saw it once and that was all. I need to see it. It was long. It felt like it was almost like two movies squished together. Um, and I found the love story kind of annoying. Um, I don't know. It wasn't bad. It's just not something I ever want to see again. Eh.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I felt the same way. It may seem like it were only two to take off. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Okay, and my last movie is the 2005 version of King Kong. That's the one with Naomi Watts and Jack Black. That movie was 3 hours and 7 minutes. I just picked this one just because it was over the 3 hour mark. I've seen it a few times. I thought it was good. The story of King Kong since it first came out back in probably the early 19s teens. It's been around for a while. I haven't seen it in a while, but I do remember enjoying it. If it was on now, I probably wouldn't see it again just because I do feel like it was long. I actually like what is it the 70s version better than this one, but I don't think the 70s version was this long. Katalia, I'm going to go to you first this time. 2005 King Kong.
Haven't seen it.
Okay. Ape falls in love with woman. The end. Oh, went to New York, then the end. Miss Liz.
Well, I've seen all the King Kong movies from the black and white one in the early 30s all the way up to the one they just did in 2005. And I kind of like King Kong. So if there's a King Kong movie out there, I'll probably see it. I even saw the last one with Godzilla. So,
Got you. And last but not least, Lady Gray.
Um, I do. I remember seeing this one. I don't. It's been a long time. I don't feel like it felt that long when I watched it, but I think I was doing something when I watched it, like I was sewing or working on schoolwork or something. So it didn't. A lot of times I'll kind of lose track of time. I do remember I felt really bad for the monkey, and I was mad at the people. So, but I don't know. I liked King Kong. I was rooting for him, even though I knew logically he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all the movies that I have. Now, I do want to quickly go to each one of y'all. Is there a long movie that you would like to mention? And if not, we can just move on and call it a night. I'll go with Miss Liz first. Is there another long movie that I didn't mention that you would like and maybe suggest us watching?
Greatest Story Ever Told. That
Okay.
one's a really long movie.
Yes. I've seen that one a long time ago. And I do remember that being.
That's one of the ones they play every year also.
Yes.
Around Easter time.
True.
And that's the only one I can think of right off the top of my head that we didn't already mention.
Okay. Katalia, I saw your eye move, so I know you're thinking about something.
Ben-Hur. I don't know how long that one was, but that was really good. And I think the Dune movies are a little long, so they're good too.
I actually was going to put Dune in this, and I didn't because I think when I looked it up, it was a little over 2 hours. The extended version, just a little bit longer than that. So I didn't really feel like I put that in there. But, I love Dune. We did a podcast on that on one of the other shows. And Lady Gray.
Well, y'all stole mine. I was going to say Dune.
Okay.
I saw the first one a while back, and I actually am planning to watch the second one this weekend because it's hard for me to find a long chunk of time to just sit and watch. But I have some time this weekend, so I was going to do that. But yeah, that was it.
Oh, Platoon. Yes.
Yeah, I've
That-
seen all the
that is
versions
good.
of Dune, from the early versions to the now versions. Dune's a good book. Good.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
reading the books is good too.
My dad read all of them, and that's another book that I thought about reading, but I don't know. I feel like it might have been a little hard to read, so I just never actually picked it up.
You just got to learn how to say all those bloody names.
Yeah, I already have a studying issue. I don't think that's gonna happen. But I can, make up names as I read them. All right, ladies. I appreciate everyone who is watching it. If you like the show, please hit like and subscribe. I do want to thank Lady Gray. I do want to thank Natalia. I do want to thank Miss Liz for joining tonight. We'll meet in 2 weeks. I did not write the date down. I think it's the 6th or 7th, I believe, of August. The next one that I started to work on that I would like to do is, does age matter? I started it, and then my daughter got into it, and then I got to cross it off. So I didn't get to finish this the other day, but I would just like to talk about, positive and negative with being a certain age in certain movies, old or young. I think that'll be interesting, or even in pop culture and singing. So thank you for everyone for joining, and we will see y'all in 2 weeks. Bye.